Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Identity Insights by Indicio. I'm your host, Tim Spring, and we have something a little bit different for you this week. A few of our Indicio team members are on site at IIW, or Internet Identity Workshop, and we'll be bringing you up-to-date coverage of the week's events. Please bear with us as they are on site, and there could be some audio dips or static on the line, but we will do our best to bring you the latest from the conference. Without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, welcome back to Identity Insights. Today we're joined by Mike Ebert once again to talk about IIW. Mike, I hate to ask this of you again, but if you wouldn't just tell us just a little bit about yourself in case people haven't seen our previous videos.
All right, no problem. My name is Mike Ebert. I am working with Indicio, of course. I'm the head of the enterprise team, so that means I work on server software. And at IIW, they have you throw in something interesting about yourself. So for today, I'll throw in that I love model rockets.
Awesome. So today was the last day of IIW, or Internet Identity Workshop. Would you mind telling us, basically what happened today? What were some of the interesting sessions that people pitched? And yeah, what did you think of the day?
So at IIW, the first couple days, first day and a half or so, people focus a lot on, their pre-prepared slides and their demos that they want to share. By the time you get to the third day, people start to be a little more creative and they throw together sessions that are in responses to other sessions. So, for example, this morning we had a session where, the leader of the session said, you know what, we've got credentials, but what if you need to share the authority or permissions that came with that credential? So we had a brainstorming session with a whole bunch of industry veterans who are like, how do we delegate authority that was established based on a credential? And so Sam Smith and Alan Karp and Adrian, I think his last name is Gobber. I can't remember for sure. Gropper, that's it, Gropper. And and others were just like, totally speculating and jamming on decentralized identity, and came up with some cool recommendations. So that's kind of how the last day tends to go, is some stuff that's a little more fun.
All right, no, that's super interesting. I'm not sure if you remember, but what were a few of the ideas that were kind of tossed around in response to that question?
So there were three that kind of got tossed around. There's certificates, which are an existing technology, which are a way that you can pass along authority if you were to share the certificate, perhaps add one more layer of encryption so that you could restrict parts of it. There are tokens, which is another established technology, where you could say, let's build a stack of tokens. And then finally, chained credentials. And that's where the AC/DC carry folks had a lot of fun talking, because their protocol is particularly adaptable to that use case. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, awesome. No, well, that sounds particularly interesting around like the different type of session going on today. Brian, I know there's also always hallway conversations and things like that. Was there any conversations that you had today that were particularly exciting or interesting?
Yeah, so Tim, I had a chance today to follow up on some of the demos that were shown the same time I had a demo. So, I didn't get to go see them during demo hours. So today I got to go and talk to those people. And, some people are worried about decentralized identity and whether it's going to make it, whether it's going to be adopted or have big success. And some of the projects that are getting released and some of the demos that are happening and the products that are starting to be sold are showing that we might be turning the corner to some mass adoption. So yeah, it was fun to talk to people about their demos and their projects that they're allowed to talk about in public now.
All right, no, that's super exciting, particularly for the more widespread adoption, because I feel like it's just not something that most people have heard about so far. I hate to put you on the spot again, but are there any projects in particular that you could call out that were recently announced or are coming soon that people were talking about?
So Checked has a ledger, and they put out a project that has a social reputation system built using credentials. And they were showing people how to get an IIW credential, and they have like badges and kind of a social system around credentials. I haven't had a chance to fully explore it, but their UI and their marketing materials are really slick, and it looks like it could be something that would be kind of fun, that would introduce people to credentials through a social system. So yeah, got to check out the one. I think it's what do they call it? Creds.xyz, I think is what it was called. I know they call them creds, and the domain name at the end, top level domain, was XYZ. So yeah, that one's a fun one to look at. And then Animo also put together a really, a product launch. It's called Paradigm.id. And so it's a solution for building ID-centric solutions, a platform for building ID-centric solutions. So it's exciting for them to have a toolkit that they can release and have out there for everybody to play with.
All right. No, that's very cool. There's some real things that people can go try out today, which is, always exciting to hear about. So, right, I don't want to keep you too long, but I know that, right, the full conference is done. You kind of look at it back all in one now. What were some of your favorite moments or kind of key takeaways from the conference just as a whole?
So, IIW does a pretty good job of staying with the latest current thing, and being able to keep a finger on the pulse of ID and technology. And there were a huge number of sessions on artificial intelligence that has been big in the tech news lately. And one of the gentlemen was he's not an identity person. He said he's from the field of AI, and he said, people asked him, why did you come to the conference? And he said, because AI is coming, or maybe already be fully here and starting to be integrated into society. And the folks who manage identity, verifiable identities, may be the only people who can help us sort out the mess between what comes from an AI and what's from an authentic human. And so that was, that's kind of how the whole conference operates, is to stay on that cutting edge and help people adapt to what's going on. And the government had a lot of people there and ran a bunch of sessions. And so I think that's one thing that shows that identity's time is nearly here. When the government starts to react to this and look at incorporating it, they're the source for so many of our core identity, credentials or certificates or data. And so when they start using it, it's for real.
All right, very cool. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you have a flight to catch, but appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today, and wish you a safe journey home. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Tim. See ya.
Thank you for watching. If you at home are interested in verifiable credential technology and you would like to learn more, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll continue to bring you some more educational content. If you have any questions or specific topics that you'd like for us to cover, please go ahead and leave a comment below, and we'll be sure to read and address them. Thank you.